Black Pants Game Studio have hit the indie scene with some cool and quirky titles, one of which being Tiny and Big. You play as Tiny, a gadget junkie with an eye for adventure, but your arch nemesis Big has stolen from you your most precious asset, a pair of clean white underpants left to you by your dear departed grandfather.
In this latest installment, Tiny and Big, Grandpa's Leftovers, you must pursue Big into the relentless desert to try and get the undies back, yet again. There are many obstacles that stand in your way, but thanks to Tiny's crafty set of tools, you're armed with the means to take on even the most complex of environments.
After a quick gadget tutorial, your ship crash lands in a canyon, and your first task is retrieving your scattered gadgets and finding a way out. You have a laser gun for slicing pieces of rock, a grapple for pulling things around, and a rocket gun for blasting rock away from you.
Given the sandboxy nature of each area, you really have free reign of how you want to chop and mould your environment in order to, get to your goal. And the physics are really good, I thought.
Yeah, they all just make sense.
The angle at which you slice objects matters, as does where you place your grapple hook when pulling it towards you. Placing it low will drag it, but place it too high and you can end up just pulling a rock down on top of you.
If you make too many slices or don't get the result you're after, you can hit the letter O and it will reset the rock for you to try again. Fall will get squashed and it's back to the checkpoint. You have to be really careful when you're lasering things too, because it's very easy to accidentally laser something in the background and that can mess things up for you later on.
I found the rocket tool a bit redundant. It's generally easier just to push something away from you than to use your rocket to blast it away. And plus, it wasn't really that powerful.
Yeah, it's more of a novelty than anything else. I really think this game could have benefited from some sort of gadget power-up system, just to make everything a bit more powerful or work in a slightly different way. That would have added a nice layer to the gameplay, but it isn't there. There are little cassette tapes you can try and nab from hard-to-reach places that will add a new tune to your radio, and some hidden rooms with bonus mini-challenges, but that's about it.
I found a lot of the desert rock action got a bit bland after a while. My favourite sections were in those kind of temple rock formations. Here, getting pillars to fall correctly and using some seriously precise platforming will see you making your way to the top of another cliff from the inside out. And I really enjoyed these environments a lot more, and I liked the way they made me think.
I think the sections I probably enjoyed the most were towards the end, where the difficulty jumps up a bit. Big will start to make life very difficult for you by using the mystical power of the underpants to levitate objects and hurl them in your direction.
I got beyond frustrated in these sections because amidst all the chaos of moving objects around in your environment and, trying to slice up incoming boulders, it's so easy to just accidentally fall to your doom. In fact, no matter the circumstance, the platforming in this game is so precarious and I got so frustrated. And it'll take some fast fruit ninjaing to make it past Big and his rage-filled rock throwing.
Like many a hero's journey, there's a tremendous castle off in the distance, and it's something that you're heading towards, and it's a great motivator. And there are some points along the way where you'll just be completely stuffed for what to do, and so you'll just slice and grapple everything until an answer presents itself.
The game does a wonderful job of creating a sense of weight and scale, and you really do feel tiny while trying to maneuver yourself through this epic landscape. I thought the design was really lovely. It uses that cell shading technique, which we've seen quite a lot, but I thought it worked really well here. Also, there are some really funny moments, like when I was doggedly slicing my way through some overhanging rock and the camera pulled back at the end for this reveal. Really cool.
I like the weird little grunts that Tiny and Big make. Huh? It has bagfuls of character, doesn't it, Hex? What do you think overall?
Well, I liked it. I think taking simple mechanics but placing you with them in an open world environment where you can use your imagination and be creative with how you solve the puzzles is really wonderful. But as is often the case, I just wish they'd taken it that little bit further and really fleshed out some of those indoor sections and made the puzzle platforming just a bit more involved. But it's a great follow-up installment for the indie dev. I'm giving it 6.5 out of 10.
I think I liked it a little bit more than you, Hex, especially the challenge towards the end, and I just enjoyed the concept. I think that's really strong. So I'm giving it 7.5 out of 10 rubber chickens. Hex, do you ever feel like sometimes games save the best bits till right at the very end?
Ah, yes, the old delayed gratification.
Goose has a look at how developers are using this mechanic to keep us in the game.